Good morning, folks. It's Max. How's everyone doing this morning? It's about 10 o'clock here in Hill Country. Let's look at these. We're just going to do Defiance in this update, not Yield Max. Speaking of Defiance, where's my Defiance window? It's over here. All right, we'll start here with triple QY or WDTE. All right, these guys sold the 57.59 strike option for 16 bucks. It's worth zero now, which is good because they're short. So they're realizing the entire $283,000 profit. Comes to about 4 cents a share. All right, the dividend estimates. I received a comment last night. I can't believe these guys are going to weekly. I mean, I'm glad you guys are happy, but I mean, it just makes it, nothing could make less difference to me. But I guess I'm glad you guys are happy. All right. It's just a non-issue. It does not matter. I don't think people get that. All right. Also, let me say this. It doesn't matter unless you're trying to live off these. If you're trying to live off these, yeah, it's helpful to get your money every week. Sure. But I'm not a big proponent of trying to live off these. These are set it and forget it. These are for allocating. Okay. Anyway, I'll stop grabbing. So here's the old way I did the estimate. I estimated it for a month. Like I said, I can't believe they're doing this. This is freaking idiotic, but I estimated it for a month. So all I'm going to do is I'll divide it by 4. So the estimate's 40 cents, right? So what was their dividend they paid? 33 cents. So I missed that one pretty bad. Let's see how the other ones did. I missed it by about 20%. All right, let's see. My goal when I did these wasn't to be able to predict the dividend to the penny. I can do that as a side effect. My goal was to teach everyone how these worked. A lot of people thought these weren't good trades and didn't understand how selling options work. A lot of people have a basic idea of you buying an option, but selling options is a totally different deal. Anyway, so that's really the reason I started them. They aren't supposed to be the most accurate because, like I say, I don't even care about the dividend. It just doesn't matter. All right, especially weekly. I don't what's the matter with monthly? It doesn't matter. All right, 34 cents. And don't tell me compounding. I've argued with so many people that you are not going to make up the difference weekly compounding by taking a weekly fund and thinking you're going to make more than a fund by virtue of the compounding. Compounding doesn't work like that. You might make a 0.25%, maybe. It's not what everyone thinks it is. Compounding is good over the course of 50 years. Sure, compounding is one of the most powerful forces of nature, but it's not going to turn these funds. It's not going to make these funds where they don't erode or whatever people are hoping. All right, so this thing paid 34 cents. Let's see what the spreadsheet guessed. Spreadsheet guessed 45 cents. So that one's high. But see, I got a problem. If I would have known they were doing it like this here, I think they did it a different way too. I mean, this is just a pain in the ass. I'm going to have to figure it out like we did, like we're trying to on Round Hill. I mean, hang on. Speaking of Round Hill, so I picked Round Hill's dividends last week. I told you guys it was going to be, and they announced yesterday. Let's see what I wrote it down over here because they picked 2 weeks behind, supposedly. 17 cents or no. 20. God damn it. Where did I write it down? Was it 22 cents or 17 cents? This is my estimate column. I guessed 20 and I was wrong. I guess 35 and it was 20. I guess 32 and it was 20. There it is, 28. 28 is my latest guess. I just haven't copied it down. 0.28 is the latest guess. So they paid a dividend yesterday. So let's see what Round Hill paid. But first we'll look. First we'll finish up. Defiance. So, and I have 53 cents on IWMY, and I'm sure that's way high also. But for one thing, it's more than a week. Gosh damn it. You guys don't understand how much I don't care about the weekly. It just doesn't matter. Well, I mean, like I say, I'm not trying to live off these. If you're trying to live off these, God bless you. They just don't, that's not what they're for. That's not what they're for. And I'm afraid you're going to get a margin call, because to be able to live off these, I'll do a video about it. You need to be able to live off these and do it the right way. You need to have enough money where if you had that much money, you could afford to quit your job anyway. It's not that big of an advantage. All right. I need to make a video on it. But so these guys I had on this one, I had 53 cents. I had 53, 55, and what was WTE, but they were all high. But so here's what I think I probably need to do. It looks like, so look this, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in the month. Okay. Well, the 7th day is today. The 6th day was yesterday. So I need to make the estimate based on, watch this. Gosh, damn it. What's 5 divided by 6? 83. Okay, I had to do that real quick. So I need to make the estimate based on 83 this one time, and then next time I'll fix it. So let's switch the estimate to, we're going to equal that number times 0.83. You guys are getting to see behind the curtains how I do it here. We want to format as a number. Okay, 34 cents. That's my actual pick. Because that's, if I would have known they were going to pick it yesterday, I didn't factor in, but I mean, I should have stopped my pick. You know, I should be including today's number, because it includes today's and yesterday's number. You take today's and yesterday's number out. We had 34 cents on that one, which is close enough. I'm not even going to check, 'cause like I say, I don't care. 45 cents. I have some really good content I'm working on, and that's more what I care about lately. These Defiance videos, I think pretty much everyone understands. Everyone that I was trying to teach, I think, has got it. Right? They understand how they work. All right, so we have 38 cents on this one. And thank you for whoever emailed me yesterday. Somebody emailed me and said, hey, are you going to remember that these are weekly dividends? Or are you going to guess them? I had no idea. I was like, yeah. I'll get right on that. All right. So now on this one, I'll have a next time where it's just one number. But so we're going to go 0.84, because that's how much of a month went by, times 53 cents. And this should be right. Okay. But it's formatting as a percentage. We want to format as a number. Okay, so one more time. 45 cents on IWMY. So let's look at which, well, we'll look at triple QI. Triple QI was 34.48 cents, right? Triple QI, 34.48 cents. Okay, I have 38 cents. Okay, on triple QI. Now on IWMY, I have 34 cents. Let's see what Defiance has. IWMY. Sorry, this is an off the rails Defiance update. There's not even going to be any yield max information. So if you're waiting for yield max, it'll be in the next video. I still haven't done it yet. I need to work on some. I need to put in yesterday's trades. All right. So these guys paid 42 cents, and the sheet said 34. Okay, great. And IWMY paid 45, and the sheet said, or the company actually paid, 42. So I still missed them really bad. They were all off. Like I say, it doesn't matter what the estimate is. These work. They make money. They've been going a year. Look at this. I mean, this fund makes $20,000 every day. This fund makes $111,000 every day, including the days that it lost $6 million. It averages over the course of a year $111,000, which is four bips. I don't know what else people want. I mean, this one averages about 50,000, which comes to 5 bips. I mean, it's, over the course of a year, they're all three up and up big and paying the dividend, just like promised. Like I say, I feel like I'm trying to prove something, but I'm preaching to the choir, because I'm sure I don't have very many people that still watch my station. I pissed everyone off that wanted free money and all that kind of shit. So the people that are still left are pretty much people that agree with me anyway. So for the most part, I know that you guys disagree. And I bet you the people who are listening right now are disagree about my rant on the weekly dividends. I just couldn't think of anything that matters less out of all the things they could have done. When they introduced the call spreads, now that was big news. That is life-changing. Weekly dividends doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't, unless you're trying to live off it. Like I say, and I'm not trying to encourage that kind of behavior. So I don't even talk about that. Maybe I need to make a video on why you shouldn't live off them and what will happen to you if you try to. But just keep them to 20%. No more than 20%, you'll be fine. Even if you had the worst fund that they came out with last year, but you had it allocated properly, you'd be fine. You'd be getting a little income. Your NAV would be down, but you'd be fine. It's just 20% because the rest of your account market's up 30%. The problem that people do with these is they're too heavy in them. Okay? That's all it is. There's zero difference between the dude that invests 2% of his net worth in them and loves these and uses them happily forever, and the guy that invests, 50% of his net worth and then gets a margin call and then he gets on Reddit bitching about how these suck because of all the erosion, and he didn't take the time to learn the product in the first place. I mean, these aren't super risky products. There's a lot stupider investments people could make. There's we could day trade futures. We could be looking at high speed trading. That's remember the SOS bandits back about 20 years ago? They'd make like 1,000 trades an hour. They'd be trading in and out for a quarter penny. And I mean, they were called special. I'm trying to think, but they were trying to beat the system with speed. I mean, there's all kinds of crazier investment schemes that have come up over the years that have been dumber ideas than covered call funds. But if you put 80% of your net worth into covered call fund, that is a dumb idea. But the covered call fund, when used properly, is fine. And I mean, all of them are making money hand over fist. Some of them are better than others, but I mean, I can't really think of a bad one. There's covered call funds that have bad stocks, like that, that its stock is down this year, but I can't think of a fund where the fund's not doing what it's supposed to. All right, guys. Well, that's all for today. Let's see. Do we have anything else you want to look at? Probably not. I bet everyone's gone because I pissed everyone off. But the weekly dividend, who gives a shit? If you're trying to live off it, don't. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. It sounds like something I would have tried to do when I was 30. So I'd have been right there with you 30 years ago, 20 years ago. What's that? 27 years ago. All right. Well, let's look at this Trump spread real quick. One thing I have been talking about is volatility around the election. I'll stop bitching. I really do like this topic. Okay. So what we're doing, just to refresh everyone's memory, is right here. We have an uber bullish trade on the company DJT, and we're using DJT and the company and its volatility as a proxy for the election and Trump's chances. Well, it's obvious it's going. So this trade was up $200 yesterday, $100 a day before that. So then I looked at the polls, and yesterday Trump had taken about a 4-point bump in the polls from the day before. Well, today it went from being up 250 to 330. So I'm going to say that Trump still. We don't look at the polls, by the way. We look at gambling markets. They're more reliable. I'm going to say Trump was up by 4 yesterday. I'm going to say he's up by 5 today. Just by virtue of, he is spanking Kamala. Holy cow, he's up by 7. I didn't see the word salad interview on 60 Minutes. I can't imagine it was that bad, especially after 60 Minutes fixed it all up for her. Boy. All right. Well, that's an ass kicking. But anyway, you can certainly see it in the volatility of the associated companies, because the uber bullish trade was up something like 250 yesterday. It's up 3 today. So we would expect this, if he keeps doing well and wins the election, I'd expect this trade to be worth some money. If you could get this to 40, if you get this company to 40, its trade would be worth $1,800, and it only costs a little less than $400 to put on. If you can only get it to 30, it's worth $1,400, but that's not bad for $400. Okay, now I'm not recommending this trade. I don't think it's a good company. We're just using this as a proxy for the news. just something fun to follow. I'm not, but I mean, there's worse trades you could make. This trade, if you're a Trump guy and you're convinced he's going to win and you think the stock's going to go up because of the high volatility, I constructed an advantageous way to express that opinion. So that's this trade. Now, and I have a bearish trade on the same company. It's a broken wing butterfly that makes money if the company's price stays the same or goes down. So it's a bearish DJT trade. And you can see it goes till November 15th. And the person that plays this trade is just betting the DJT stays under 23, somewhere between 23 and 0. And this trade would be worth somewhere between $50 and $400. All right. So that's the opposite trade. And this trade's down today. So this trade's the Kamala trade. The other trade's the Trump trade. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. But this poly market I've been watching this every day. Trump was up by 5 prior to the election. And then he blew the election 5 prior to the debate. Then he blew the debate. I mean, don't look at me. I'm not a hater. I voted for him. I'm a Trump, not a Trump fan, but I'm on your team. But it was not a good debate. Period. I mean, Kamala wore him out. Anyway, and you could see it because in the very next day it went from Trump up 5 to even in one day. That's the most percentage points I've seen it move in one day until recently. Okay, well, but anyway, so it went to even in one day. And then a few days later, Trump tweeted, "I hate Taylor Swift." And it literally dropped where he was down 4 points. He was behind as far as Kamala was now last week after the hate Taylor Swift thing. But anyway, he's fought his way back in. This ought to be interesting. Like I say, I'm not trying to be a political reporter or whatever. I'm not for this side. I'm not really for the other side. I've mentioned that I'm kind of an independent thinker. But more think of me like a libertarian or whatever. But anyway, but what I do love is volatility, and I love current events and elections. So we're going to keep an eye on this, and we're going to keep an eye on the Trump trade, but we'll keep an eye on this Uber bull spread. And I did, to tell you the truth, I secretly hoped, so to be honest, I'm not a Trump fan, but I secretly hoped one of you guys was and would put this on. And I secretly hoped that, that maybe the stock would go to 40 or something and you guys could make a couple $1,000s. I'm not a believer. Sorry. I think, I'm not a believer, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Right. All right, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good day. I'm going to go work on my other content that I really think you guys will like. I'll show you the slide to prove I'm working on it. There it is. My favorite all-time financial white paper. All right. I know that doesn't make it seem like a very interesting video. I promise it's a good video. All right, guys, have a good day. Let me know what you think about my opinions. I know I'm going to get disagreement on the weekly options. That's fine. I'm happy that you guys are happy. I really am. And on the Trump deal, who cares? I mean, we're just looking this because it's going to be fun to watch how volatile the markets get. I'm going to try to stay out of politics and stick to the volatility element of it. But we have to look at the polls and the betting markets every day. It ought to be fun. All right, guys. Well, like I say, let me know what you think. I didn't mean to offend anybody. All right. I'll see you later.